that big refrigerator around the truck.
Well, I hide it well with the mask.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but all good people. I just wanted to come down and say thank you all for all that you do.
You know, you're the first administrator to come down.
Yep.
Well, you know,
In the position you're in.
well,
That's what I mean. That person and that next
Well, I think that, and I hope you've seen over the past 3 years, your biggest supporter is right down there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he now has COVID, so we're all having to. And I have my directives. I got to socially distance too. Got to wear the mask.
Yep.
But you know, like I said, your biggest supporter is down there. You have tremendous support down at the DOT and FMCSA, and you know, our intention is to listen to you guys. That's why I'm here today. So you know that.
Yeah.
Many
Been through it
meetings.
before a couple times.
Many meetings.
I'm going to bow out and let these guys talk to you because we've had plenty of conversations. And, but by all means, intermingle or whatever.
Wiley Deck, I'm Deputy Administrator for FMCSA. Just wanted to come down and say hi. Thank you guys for paying tribute to your fellow truckers and being here today. So thanks again for all your hard work. You really stepped up to the plate during COVID, making sure that the deliveries got where they needed to go, whether it was food, fuel, medical supplies, you name it. You guys really stood up and are true heroes, and we can't do enough, we can't say enough to say thank you for all that you've done. And I hope you've seen over the past several years, the past 3 years, the change in how FMCSA relates with you and how we interact with you. And this administration has been very active in ensuring that we're listening. You know, there are things that we can and we can't do, right? Some of you and some of your trucker friends out there want to do away with hours of service. Well, they've been around since 1936. None of that's going to change overnight. We just can't wave a wand and fix that issue.
Slavery was around for 100 years. It ain't no.
Legally, we don't. We have procedures that we have to follow. You saw that with the hours of service rulemaking that just went into full effect on Tuesday. Hopefully, you guys are taking advantage of that where you can. We are working to do additional steps, not necessarily just in hours of service, but looking at other ways we can provide those flexibilities for you guys so that you can do your jobs but still do them in a very safe manner, which was the whole point of the hours of service. You know, we preached years before, you guys need to manage your fatigue, right? But we never gave you the tools to do it. So we did the hours of service reform. We made some minor changes, and hopefully those minor changes help you out. I've heard from some truckers out there, it's helped, especially a 30-minute rest break, being able to use it on duty, not driving, has helped them. Some aren't really using it fully yet because they're still learning what aspects they can use and what they can't. But the whole purpose throughout these past 3 years is to increase our outreach and to increase our communications with you, with the industry. And I hope you've seen some of those effects that your voice has had. Like the hours of service, 8,000 comments we've received on it. The vast majority were from drivers like you. And some of you probably commented. And we thank you for that. Because
Every one of them better have.
Every one of us better
okay,
have.
every one of you better have commented. You know, it's your input. We can't do these rulemakings in a vacuum because if we don't have your input, you never know what you're going to get, right?
Can I input something real quick?
You're sure, yes sir.
I think it's safe to say that a lot of these conversations wouldn't happen if they cared about our safety and give us the tools that we need to cure fatigue. It's eliminate the 14-hour rule. Let us sleep when we want, and we get up and go about our business. Because, and I want to say this real quick without taking a lot of time. I was talking to Tony Justice the other day. He don't have an ELD. It's legitimate. His company driver has an ELD. Tony gets to stop and take a nap through Savannah where it's foggy, rush hour traffic in the morning time. Y'all are filming me, ain't you?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, the one guy he's forced by his clock countdown. Now he does have a choice, but should he make that choice, he's screwed. He's lost a day's pay.
Well,
So now this guy has to run through the fog, through the traffic, where another man gets to, who's running an essential load, by the way, who's exempt, gets to shut down and take his time and do it right. And say, use this common sense to be safe.
You just addressed adverse driving. You just described heavy fog, traffic makes it unsafe driving. He could stop his clock. If you get the rest he needs when he needs it, that's the 7-3, 8-2 split. You can stop your 14-hour clock. You weren't able to do that before Tuesday. You can now.
Back when I first started driving, we didn't have the clock, and we were always able to do it. There is no.
Well, you weren't always able to do it because you still had to follow the rules.
Sure, we did.
Even though you were on paper, you were creative.
No, I'm talking about before the 34-hour break come in. I'm talking about 2000, 2003, and 4.
But
we didn't have a
I
clock.
will say that we heard these comments throughout the hours of service rulemaking. We made the adjustments where we could in a reasonable time, because the last hours of service, major hours of service changes, dramatic ones, took 8 years to do. Did you have 8 years? We did what we could. Now we're doing some additional studies on additional hours of service relief that we needed more data on that we didn't have before, like the 3-hour pause. We needed more information on that. So a lot of the concern expressed on that was, well, you had the 3-hour pause, you're just going to, the shippers and the receivers and all that, we're going to take advantage of that 3-hour pause, right? That was the big concern. Well, what do you think happened under the paper laws? Weren't they taking advantage of you editing your logs?
I don't think that's a valid argument, because you have the whole sort of trucking that's exempt right now, and their own paper logs.
Are you talking about livestock haulers?
Yeah. Well, the hours of service are still existing for them.
They still exist, exactly the same as it exists for everybody.
So why are they exempt?
That's because it is Congress decided to buy.
And at least I know it's not your fault.
But again, the whole purpose of
I just want to make we have quite a few people that have never come to TenFourDC before. I just want to, before we dive too deep into things or start some type of debate that may.
Oh no, it'd be respectful.
You were fine. I wanted to make sure that I forgot to say something to everybody. The FMCSA, I've been meeting with you guys for at least 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
3 with me.
In their office, down there, they've always been open for communication. You can always make COVID might throw a wrench in it a little bit right now, but normally you can always schedule an appointment whenever you come to DC for whatever you're here for, and see some of these folks up there, and they do legitimately take the time to listen to your concerns, to take them into consideration, and then they offer their own advice or some insight as to why a decision was made. With that said, since TenFourDC started now 3 years ago, they've sent somebody down every single year, and they come down here and speak with the drivers. And that's something that we're very thankful that you guys take the time out of your day to come down every year. But then I just want the drivers that have never done 10-4 to know that this is something that occurs every time, and this is an opportunity for you to kind of have out of the office real talk shop with a representative from the FMCSA. So take advantage of it. If you have a question, ask them. I don't want to hold them up all day, but take advantage of it. But please, by all means, be as respectful as possible in doing so. Have a positive dialogue.
Administrator Wiley, hi.
Sure.
We have one of the plaintiffs in the antitrust case against freight brokers. Rick Santiago was supposed to be here, is not here. Are you working and cooperating with the Justice Department Antitrust and Attorney General Carpenetti of New Jersey in the antitrust investigation regarding brokerage fees and transparency? Is that something you
cooperate with any law enforcement or legal authority out there as required by the law? So if it's something that we are legally bound to do, then absolutely.
But you haven't started giving them information or sharing information?
I have not had any briefings on that. that yet, so I can't provide any additional information than you already have.
We can say
Before we take any more questions real quick, is, these types of interactions that we've been having over the last 3 years have developed into that creation of that driver subcommittee under MCSA. And so we are accepting now, hopefully some of you or all of you, if you've submitted your name.
no, but I will right now.
All right.
Send it right now.
Now you got to submit it to the MCSA driver.
I'll email you later.
Good. All right. In that, what we ask is, kind of a resume of your history in the trucking industry and as a driver. What we're trying to do is going to be 25 seats, and it's a pure driver subcommittee. So nobody else, just drivers, and you.